Hello, I'm Andy, and I'm going to use Kabbalistic tarot cards to predict for you the snake. You come from the snake family, and I'm going to use Kabbalistic tarot cards to predict the month of January 2017 for you. So let me give this a quick shuffle. The first card that I'm going to pull will be to do with your romance, marriage, and family areas. And the card is pointing to you. So it's facing you, and so you have more control over circumstances. That's always a good sign when the card faces you, points to you. Now let me talk of romance first. The first 15 days of January shows that there's a lot of opposition, there's a lot of quarrels, arguments, there's differences of opinion between you and your romance partner. So the first 15 days you have to stay very calm, you have to speak to people, to your romance partner properly, or there's going to be a lot of pressure and stress on your romance areas. The second half of the card shows that the last 15 days of January for you, the snake, become a little bit worse. Worse in the sense that you can be arrogant and you can be a person whose compatibility becomes very weak with your romance partner. And also watch out for differences of opinion getting out of control. So the whole month of January is a little weak for your romance areas. You have to be gentle. You have to use words which are soft, a behavior which is soft. You have to listen more than you talk or shout. And that way you can lessen the problems in January regarding your romance problems. Regarding your marriage, looking at this card, there are severe differences coming up in the first 15 days of January. And for you, the snake, there can be a very bad tension in your marriage area. There's also gloominess and frustration. One of the frustrations can be coming from your past or from your marriage partner's past. And these issues will come up to make both of you very unhappy. So be careful that the first 15 days in marriage are not very stable. You cannot afford to show your temper. You cannot afford to be depressive and then put the blame on your marriage partner. You have to behave very gently. The second half of the month does not improve very much. Now it shows that arguments, quarrels, differences of opinions can get out of hand. So the second half of January, for you, the snake, can become worse in a way. You will be very arrogant. You will not want to apologize. Don't do these things. Try to do the opposite by being supportive and agreeable. And that way you will be able to lessen the pressure of these planets who want to make your marriage into more and more trouble during the last 15 days. Regarding general family areas, there is harmony. There's not going to be a danger of a breakup, but there will be a lot of tension in the family areas. So have the behavior pattern of being very friendly and being very approachable. And this way you will improve your romance, marriage and family areas for the month of January because they don't look very steady. The second card I'm going to pull will be to do with your career, business and financial areas. The card is pointing to you. So that's a good sign again. Shows that you have control. So this is a good card showing the knowledge and the path forward is good for you. But the first 15 days are very slow. So in your career areas, the news you are waiting for will come very slowly. So you got to be patient in the first 15 days about your career. Not much movement. In fact, I can see signs of opposition from your bosses or from your colleagues. There is not much friendliness towards you. There's a tendency to find provocation or confrontation quite easily for the first 15 days of January for you, the snake. So watch out that your career is not very stable. You cannot afford to create enemies at work. The last 15 days are better. They show more stability and they show the possibility of you finding friendship. But they also show danger of arguments and quarrels. And these arguments and quarrels in the last 15 days of January can be quite bad. They can bring your popularity down in your career areas. They can lessen support from colleagues or from bosses, and they can also produce plenty of confrontation in the last 15 days for you in your career. Let me now talk of business. Now in the business area, the first 15 days are very slow. The news you are waiting for doesn't arrive, doesn't reach you. And you tend to be angry or tend to be aggressive in your approach. You tend to promise things you're not able to keep in the first 15 days. Don't do that in business. Try to be patient, negotiate gently, and you will find that the first 15 days may not offer you much, but at least it becomes manageable. The last 15 days in business are not very good either. They bring differences of opinion, or the contracts are not very stable or changeable, and at the same time you will be unhappy in your last 15 days because the news is unstable. There is good news, there's bad news, but no of the bad news. So the differences of the last 15 days in your area of business is not good for you either. So the whole month of January in business is not very stable for you. Be patient. The general financial areas are not very, very bad. Money will be tight, and money coming in will be slow. Money going out is more. So you need to tighten your belt, and you need to be careful of spending habits for the month of January for you, the snake. Now the third card which I'm going to pull will be to do with your health areas, and it's pointing you, which means you have control over it. Your health areas are not going to go out of control. Now firstly, stress is seen, the card of stress, the card of opposition, and the card of having to do too many things, so your focus is not good in the month of January. And health-wise, this can produce headaches, or it can produce blood pressure problems, whether high or very low. And the other thing I worry about is that your stomach areas are going to be a problem. So make sure you eat in time. Don't reach the stage of bad gastric problems in the month of January, okay, because of the stress area. So find a way to stay calm, eat on time, and don't take risks of any kind. And that's what I have to advise you, the snake, for the month of January. Do go to Facebook and follow me, and you may ask me questions, and I will answer your questions through Facebook. And thank you for listening to me, and goodbye.